Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast and this week's free episode. If you want bonus episodes every week, check out patreon.com/basementboyspodcast, where we upload an additional weekly episode for $2 a month. You can also get access to bonus footage and behind the scenes. Regardless, we appreciate all your support, and we hope you enjoy this episode. Welcome back to the Basement Boys podcast. What are you drinking?
I'm drinking iced coffee.
You waited specifically for us to start the podcast to drink that.
Yes.
Why?
I figured I could get a sip while you were doing the intro.
Oh my, okay, whatever. No, it's cool. No, everything's fine. See, now here's the deal. It is 6:28 in the evening.
Yes.
You've had, I'd argue, hours to drink that coffee. And you waited for when we were specifically doing a podcast.
Do you want some?
No, I don't want coffee. Honestly, I kind of do want coffee. I feel really tired, but it's fine. Everything's fine. How are you? How are you this week, Zach?
I'm alright. Today started off kind of loud, but...
Loud?
Yeah, one of the neighbors' car alarm went off.
Oh, fun. See, I'm trying to like force myself to be happy now, because you've already made me unhappy. No, well, okay, what happened? Because I did not hear this car alarm. Did not wake me up. Then again, nothing wakes me up. So
it's good that it didn't wake you up because it definitely bothered Bowser.
Was it close by?
It was the neighbors across the street out the back door.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, their car alarm started going off, and I was like, they'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't for like 5 to 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And I looked out and noticed it was the exact same like make and model car that my parents used to have for their minivan.
Yeah.
So I was like, I know how to fix this. Because when I was like 8 or 9 years old, I stuck the house key in the ignition to the car because I wanted to see if it would like turn on the air conditioning.
What?
Yeah.
You stuck a house key of a car?
I was a dumb kid, and I'm a dumb adult.
But how did it even fit?
It was like...
Did you like force it?
It was similar enough where like, I don't know if the whole key went in or like I touched the tip to it and it was like, this is the wrong electromagnetic signature. Or whatever, but...
Sure.
Because, like, car keys have, like, a little, like, black or gray or whatever color, tag thing on them that I assume has electronics inside of some sort.
I don't know.
I don't know either. I've never looked inside one.
I'm not going to agree or disagree, because if you're wrong, I don't want to be on that bandwagon.
Nah, I feel that. And that's my assumption. I don't actually know.
Okay, so you
it
somehow tripped the alarm.
Yes. So the alarm started on my dad's minivan.
Okay.
And he was in Lowe's, so we sat and waited for about 15 to 20 minutes with the alarm, waiting for my father to return. And when he got back, he called AAA. And they told him this one simple trick to turn your fucking alarm off.
That sounds like a BuzzFeed title. Jesus.
I know, right? So I went out there through the garage. I, like, put some shoes on and hiked up my pants because it was wet outside.
Oh, you're trying to be a good neighbor.
Yeah, good neighbor, good guy, Zach. So I go over, and I tell them to, like, turn off the car, lock it from the inside, close the door, and then unlock it through, like, the keyhole on the outside of the door. And the alarm turns off, so I look like a fucking demigod here to save the day for these people. And then I went to come back inside and accidentally locked the garage.
You locked yourself out?
I locked myself out, so I had to text Brian and be like, hey, let me in.
Did they see you lock yourself out?
I think if they saw me, they might have assumed that it was me intentionally, like, locking the garage before I went in through the front door.
Maybe, but, like, they saw you, like, struggle with the handle is what I'm asking?
I didn't struggle with the handle. I just turned it, heard the thing latch, and I was like, fuck.
So you went from, like, demigod who stopped their car alarm to some guy who just locked himself out of his house
in under 30 seconds.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm glad you texted Brian too, because I would not have woken me up.
Just wait for like 6 hours
the
for you to wake up.
I mean, I have my ringer on, so my alarm vibrates.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I could set my phone up to vibrate even on silent. But I don't like that because I haven't figured out a way to do it where it doesn't vibrate for everything. I'm just not very technologically sound when it comes to Apple devices. I don't know how to run Apple devices, how to like set them all up properly.
That's actually funny.
Like, I
It's
just...
hilarious because it's supposed to be, like, the easier to use, more intuitive. Hello,
I know.
what?
But, like, listen, okay? All I know is when I have the ability for my phone to vibrate on silent, it vibrates for everything. For text calls, some even notifications. And that causes just unnecessary distractions in class or pleasure in class. So I've just turned it off. So now I have my ringer on overnight because then my alarm makes sound and vibrates, which helps make me more. But even though my ringer is on and your text would have made sound, I would have not heard, because my text sounds are so short and simple.
Yeah.
Like, the only complicated text sound I have is for my girlfriend, and that's because I want to know that she specifically is texting me.
Yep.
But otherwise, I don't wake up to anything. Also, our dog is barking after 5 minutes and 43 seconds of us not being with him.
Yeah.
He's a little too needy
as fuck.
Is Brian available?
I didn't even look for that information, honestly.
You should probably... Oh, you don't have your... You should text Brian as we're using your phone.
All right, hold up.
As the camera.
No, yeah, if you could text him, that'd be great.
I mean, how long did it take you to get back in the house? Was he at least awake?
It was like 30 seconds.
Okay, that's good.
Of me standing on the front door like a bum.
Because I've only locked myself out once, and it was for like a minute. Thankfully, our other roommate was there. I'll text Brian. But, I still can't believe
This will be the second time of me locking myself out of the house. The first time was with you.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because we had to, like, have Harrison come back.
Oh, so actually that was the story I was thinking of. I've never locked myself out of the house then. You locked me out of the house.
Yeah.
What the heck? Oh my god, he's such a little baby. He's literally crying. He's not even... No, he's not even whining.
It's been 30 seconds. He has water. He has a bowl,
he's
a bowl of water, and he has a toy.
He has toys. Yo, if possible, can you let... The door's closed, right?
Yeah, the door is closed.
I'll just tell Brian to, like, open his door, and then our dog should be fine either going up to Brian's room or just chilling in the living room. I feel like as long as Brian's door is open, he'll have someone to go to. All right, cool. So Brian's down. I appreciate Brian. Brian's a nice guy. Brian.
Yeah. We appreciate this guy.
But yeah,
this man.
I just can't. I love our dog. He's a sweetheart, but he's so needy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he'll just come up to my room and pick the worst times to want attention, like when I'm doing schoolwork or editing. But then when I want to, like, cuddle with him, he has no need for me in that moment.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I've, like, the past, like, 2 times I've been streaming, he's come and just sat his face on my lap and been like, give me a Ritz. And I'm like, no.
Well, the thing is, he should be fine in a room, like I said. Like, Brian, he can go up to Brian's room, or he can chill in the living room and have toys. My only concern is, I'm pretty sure there's a loaf of bread on the counter.
There is, in fact, a loaf of bread on the counter.
Which is a callback to our first episode where we talked about Bowser eating a loaf of hamburger rolls. That was the wrong word.
The point is across.
Yikes. I just felt like Mike Tyson, both using the wrong word and having, like, improper enunciation all in the same sentence. But I would argue the same argument I've made before, which is if Bowser eats that loaf of bread in the kitchen...
It's on whoever left the loaf of bread out, which was me.
During this podcast, you lost your loaf of bread reasonably so.
Yeah.
Because we have so much pantry. It's kind of crazy. I love our kitchen.
Yeah.
There is so much pantry space, cabinet space. We've got cabinets with nothing in them right now.
Yeah,
it's
lots
beautiful.
of them.
So, just maybe put at the end of this episode...
put the bread in the pantry.
While I'm editing it, you can either eat all of that bread in one sitting or put it in the pantry. But
nah, I have a bad habit of, like, leaving stuff out to be like, this is what I brought home, and
no, I know
it can go wherever anyone wants it.
Well, that's the same point.
But that's also, like, fully on me.
I think he just fell. I think our dog just fell down the stairs or something, bro.
That's on him. He should know how to work stairs by now.
Well, that's the same argument you brought up in episode 1 of the podcast, though, where it's like, yes, I understand that you leave stuff out on the counter because you want everyone to take it. but also
Yeah.
you could just like take a picture of it on Snapchat, send it to everyone on Snapchat,
Yeah.
be like, this is communal food, and then put it in a pantry.
Yep.
That's
once again fully on me.
But that's okay. That's okay, Zach. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna. Oh, I haven't actually said this yet. We talked about this off the podcast. I'm done. I'm gonna be out of town this weekend, which is why we're not doing a Patreon episode this week.
Yep.
It'll be the first time we're not releasing a podcast on Patreon. However, we did kind of talk about this in episode 1 as well. Another callback to episode 1, where we said we were either gonna do a Patreon episode or a video each week on Patreon. Now we've only done podcasts on Patreon.
Right.
The first 4 weeks, the previous 4 weeks, the only 4 weeks of this podcast, we've done a free episode and a Patreon episode. This week, the 5th episode is going to just be one episode. And we'll put something on YouTube. We'll put a fun video on YouTube. We haven't really planned it out yet. We'll figure that out eventually. But it'll be new. It'll be a fun new thing. I'm excited. I'm not trying to say this is like a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that we won't have a Patreon episode because it gives us the the opportunity to do something new.
Yeah.
Which is what we said we were going to do it. We said we were going to do it at the beginning, so we should just do it already.
Yeah.
However, I apologize for the fact that there won't be a full-length Patreon podcast this week. However, we don't have any patrons. We don't have anyone supporting it yet, so I don't know why I'm apologizing. I'm apologizing to the zero people.
Zero patrons.
That's okay.
Hey, if you want to be mad at us, sign up for Patreon.
Yeah, you can donate $2 a month just to complain. And
Yep.
we'll take it.
And then we'll take that complaint and we'll read it and we'll be like, man, I feel bad about this, but not bad enough to do anything to fix it.
But like, my thing is, I still feel bad regardless if we have 0 Patreon supporters, because it's been nice uploading a podcast every week to Patreon just to show that we have content on Patreon and to give people a reason to support.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were taking a break because the water pipes made noise. But can we rant about our friends for a second?
Yeah, let's rant about our friends.
Mostly as a
shit
joke.
all over them.
Mostly as a joke. I love my friends. We invited 3 of our friends to play a game with us today, that game being Mine Night. And we gave them a 24-hour in advance to either say yes or no and let them know if they're down. None of them responded except for Anthony. Anthony said sure. Then Mark...
Ross said sure as well.
Yeah, well, sure. Mark comes today after not responding to our message about playing Mine Night and says, hey, let's play CSGO right now with no time in advance, no warning in advance. He wants to play right now. Like, at least we give people like a day in advance to let them know, we're down to play this game, or if you want to play this game, let me know. Mark, even though we messaged him, ignored our message and says, let's play CSGO. And then Anthony, who agreed to play Mine Night with us yesterday, just now agreed to play CSGO with Mark, which means he's, I guess, bailing on our plans.
I suppose.
Which happens all the time.
Yeah, no, it's really consistent to have happen, and it's kind of annoying.
I think our friend group just is that way, which is why I don't, get too mad at them about it. They're very, in the moment. Because I'll try to always, plan a game session 24 hours in advance.
Yeah.
You'll plan a game session 24 hours in advance,
and
no one will show up. But then...
And it's not like they're like, oh, I'm not available. It's like, yeah, I'm fully down. And, sometimes it's like, oh, something came up and I can't play games at all. Or it's like, oh, 20 minutes before it's time for us to play, someone else suggested playing something else.
I know. It's basically whoever suggests the game last before everyone gets on is the game we play. I think we're the ones at fault for trying to plan ahead when we should just be spur of the moment, play this game. And then they'll play, apparently.
Yeah, but to be fair... You and sometimes also I have content to make around playing a game with our friends
because we stream,
which is why we try to plan it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it is that logic though in our friend group, which I said, it's more poking fun. I don't actually hate them for being this way, but it's very spur of the moment. Whoever suggests a game to play right now, people get on. But then when we try to plan ahead, no one plans ahead in our friend group, which is a bummer. And, it happened today. It happened yesterday. This is 2 days in a row it's happened.
No, yeah.
Because yesterday we wanted to play Valorant, and we gave people a 24-hour advance. And some of the people we messaged just didn't respond.
Yep.
Or, Anthony, I'll call you out right now, dog. All right? Anthony's one of the few people who watches this podcast, so I know I can call him out. I'm calling him out right here on the main, not even on a Patreon episode. I'm calling him out on a main episode. This dude is notorious for agreeing to play with us and not showing up. Or even worse, he says he's busy. Like yesterday, we wanted to play Valorant, and Anthony's like,
I'm trying to stay off my computer for now.
Yeah, he's like, I'm trying not to be online much. And then while we were playing, he got on CSGO. He got on a different game. Dude, you don't have to lie to me.
Buddy, I love you, but it's whack.
You don't have to lie to me, all right? We're friends. If you don't want to play a specific game or you're in the mood for another game, just tell me man to man, and I'll be like, all right, cool. Honestly, if you tell me you want to play a different game, I might even
be down to play that different game.
But he instead tells us, oh, I'm busy, doesn't play that game with us.
Yep.
Just so he has an excuse to play a different game. Like,
yeah, and
I'm calling you out.
Even like what happens now in the moment where like someone else suggests something before it's time for us to, I'm more okay with that than saying yes, I'm down or I'm busy and then being like, oh, I'm doing something different.
But I think the overarching like joke I'm trying to make is like our friend group is very spur of the moment, like goldfish memory. So it's basically, if we want to play games in the future, I think we're gonna have to start like
just messaging them the second we want to play,
telling them right away.
Yeah,
because that seems to work more than planning things out in advance.
And the part of the only reason I didn't do that for like the Mind Night was because everyone has to re-download that game.
Yeah,
because I'm the only one that I think, and maybe you has it installed.
I have it installed,
pre-installed, because it's like I want to be able to play that spur of the moment.
But like, listen, it is what it is. I don't want to be upset, but at the same time, it's mind-boggling to me that we sent a message to Mark yesterday to play Mind Night. He ignored our message, and now he's messaging us today to play CS:GO
with a ping that added everyone, which is another like pet peeve of mine.
I know.
In a server like ours, where not everyone is even capable of playing the game.
I'll play CS:GO. I like CS:GO, but at least answer our message.
Yeah, no.
At least tell us, oh no, I'm not in the mood for Mind Night. But we can't even get that response from our friends.
We gotta like take them hostage to get an answer on whether or not they want to play games with us.
Yeah. Oh man, that's the fun thing about playing games with friends from high school. Kind of mix my words there. Is like some of us are at such different places now in life, and we've changed so much that we're so different than high school. Like in high school, getting a gaming session together was easy. We would get a gaming session together.
Get home
every night.
Like, let's play games.
Yeah, we'd get home from school and play games together. But now, I literally feel like I'm playing Russian roulette.
Yeah, with who we're gonna have show up.
Who's gonna play with us? What game we're even gonna play? It's crazy. But speaking of high school, and something we were talking about off the podcast, I can't believe how much the world has changed, and I don't know if it's for the better. In a lot of ways, I feel like it's not for the better. But I was talking to Zach while we were cooking breakfast this morning, and we both were making omelets like the good little boys we are. In high school, I had a video editing class, and I think you were in that. Were you in that class?
I was in that class.
You were in that class with me.
Part 2, but I did part 1 with the trashy teacher for it.
Yeah, we both had video editing 1 separately, but then when we got to video editing 2, we were in the same class. And we had the assignment of making a music video, and the point of it was not, like, the assignment wasn't make a music video, it was make a music video with a story. So like he wanted us to set a story to a song, shoot it in a pretty cinematic way. He didn't want the emphasis to be too much on like you in a room like mouthing the lyrics, like that's easy. And I was telling Zach how it's crazy, back in like 2015 I was able to not get away with, like, it wasn't my intention to be edgy. It wasn't
like an, ooh, I'm trying to...
But I picked, like, a particularly emo song, and the story I put around it was me obsessing over a girl in our school who was willing to be an actress in this music video, funnily enough. I still appreciate her for that. But me obsessing over this girl, her rejecting me, and then me killing myself. Like, me jumping off what I shot to look like the roof of our school, but instead it was the roof, but it was like the smallest portion of the roof, where like there was a hill built up against it, so jumping off the roof was only like a 6-foot jump instead of a 12, 15, 20-foot jump at certain places in the roof. And it like that was the story, was me obsessing over a girl rejecting me, and then me killing myself. And I was able to not only get away with that, and that be socially acceptable in a classroom.
I think a lot of it it was partially because of the teacher.
Yeah, and also I think it was because as cringy as it is now, like anything I made in high school was cringy.
Yeah.
I don't care what I made hundreds of YouTube videos in high school, all of them cringy. That video, cringy, but cinematically it was shot pretty well.
Oh yeah.
Like the camera angles I used, the story I built. Like we had one person, their story was just like them hiking. And the song was like death metal.
Yep.
So it didn't
story
make sense at all. I was so confused.
Mine, I didn't really give a shit about the project. So, like, my story was you being madly in love with chocolate milk.
Yeah, it was
to the tune of a death metal remake of Never Gonna Give You Up.
Yeah, that was fun. I liked being an actor in that because I just got to drink a lot of chocolate milk. I got to drink a lot of chocolate milk, and I had to pay for none of it.
Yep.
But yeah, for my music video, like I was able to make a video about like a crazy love obsessed guy ultimately killing himself, and not only did it like go over well in the class, the teacher really liked it. Like it was he was one of his favorites. He uploaded it to his own YouTube channel, which was kind of weird.
Well, yeah, I feel like
a little.
I think he had multiple YouTube channels, and that was kind of like, hey, look at what my students are doing.
That was his teacher-ish channel.
Yeah.
But he posted personal things on there as well. Like he posted videos of him like singing songs while playing the guitar at home on that channel. So like he posted some student-related things, but like I know his intentions were good. I'm not trying to say like he was creepy. He was a good teacher. Yeah. He was a very good teacher.
He was awesome.
But looking back, because I didn't think about it until years later, like a high school teacher, an adult man posting videos of underage kids on his channel.
Yeah.
Maybe not the brightest decision. Like if I was a teacher, I wouldn't do that. But I know his intentions were good, and he was a really chill teacher.
Yeah.
He was probably one of my favorites. But
he was like I don't want to say almost as emo as we were in high school, but like he was almost as emo as we were in high school.
Yeah, he was the post emo phase.
Yeah.
Straight up. But you know what's funny? I actually might, speaking of the fact that we can't do a Patreon podcast, maybe I upload the cringy high school music video I made to the Patreon, and that'll be this week's video. Yeah. So not only does it make up for the fact that we don't have any content for the Patreon this week, but it's incentive for people to finally check out the Patreon. If you want to see a cringy video of me making a music video from high school, 11th grade Caleb, and also in that video I do have a couple shots of me mouthing the words to the song in the most cringy way possible.
Yep.
If you want to see that cringy video of me from high school, check out our Patreon, $2 a month.
I still, for some reason, I'm specifically remembering how you like set up one or two of the camera angles, and it was straight up. You had a tripod, and because there was no like phone mount for the tripod yet, like the selfie stick that had the removable thing hadn't been invented yet. I say invented, but I mean like hadn't been like mass produced yet.
Yeah.
You literally had me like holding it flat on top of the camera flat on top of like tripod base thing. Basically.
And also, I think for some of the shots I did without you as a cameraman, because you either were busy or I did some shots at my house by myself. I used duct tape to make sure my phone stayed flat on the tripod so I could record it. But yeah, that was a fun class. I miss that.
Oh yeah.
I
enjoyed that class heavily.
That's what got me like big into content creation. Because like, I was uploading videos before that, but they were very like half-assed. The only editing I did was chop off the beginning and the end where I hadn't started my intro yet, and the silence after I did my outro and hadn't hit the end record button yet. Like my videos,
because you were doing like mobile videos at the time, so you had to switch apps.
Yeah, my videos prior to taking video editing classes were not edited at all. It was just a one-take video. And it was very, I enjoyed doing them. I'm not going to say I did them just to, put content on YouTube.
Not yet.
There was, care put behind them, but not enough effort. And that video editing class is like what kind of kicked me into gear of content creation and like editing videos a little bit more hardcore and making fun content that wasn't so boring like the first year of my channel, where all of the videos I uploaded in my first like year or two of YouTube were not edited at all. They were one-take videos. And looking back on them, I've unlisted so many videos. I've deleted even some, which I don't even like deleting videos because I like having the memory.
Yeah.
But some were so cringy, I even deleted them. I didn't even
That's...
I didn't even make them private where only I could see them. I want no one to see them, including myself. It's embarrassing.
Yeah. That's...
Oh man, dude, I wrote this down on the topics list. This will be like the first real topic we get into today. We're always just kind of making stuff up.
I mean,
it's more fun that way though.
Yes,
it's more natural.
I don't know what our audience prefers, but like a lot of podcast audiences, for podcasts I've listened to, prefer the unscripted. Like,
yeah, but I bring this up just because it's kind of getting to be an old story now, and you can tell because it's definitely not social distancing vibes.
No, yeah.
About I'd say a month or two ago, maybe late February, before the coronavirus was a thing, really. At least not a popular thing. Not mainstream.
Back when only hipsters had the coronavirus.
But my girlfriend and I went to McDonald's, and I, for the first time ever, had witnessed the true definition of a Karen. Like, the actual meme, the short, blonde haircut, like, mom in her 30s. She was a little bit skinnier than the average Karen. Needed to put a little bit of meat on her bones, in my opinion. But we were at McDonald's, and we actually ate in the McDonald's for like the one and only time ever. We always just take out. Always just go through the drive-thru because it's simpler. But we decided to sit in, and oh boy, did I regret that decision. So, first off, we're ordering, and she's in front of us in line. And she orders with a very snarky attitude. But you know what? A lot of people don't treat, fast food workers with respect. So I didn't really take any note to it.
Yeah.
But then we order, and we're waiting. There's a lot of people at the restaurant. All right? There's a lot of people there. And, people are getting their food that had ordered before us, obviously. And she just, even though she sees the fact that the only people getting their food are people that were before us,
yeah,
she loses her patience and goes up to the counter and is like, is our food going to be ready yet? I immediately looked at my girlfriend. I'm like, this isn't going to be good. I'm already pissed. And I should add that she had a son there with her, like maybe 7-8-year-old son. Just her and her 7-8-year-old son. Complains about the fact that her food isn't ready. So she gets her food, sits down. Then we get our food almost right after her. And we sit down. And not on purpose, but because I am, a little bit of I like drama, all right? I like being in the know.
Yeah.
I sat down kind of purposely close to her. And my girlfriend sat down with me. And we're just sitting there. And this lady was honestly, I don't like saying this about a lot of people, but she was a straight up garbage human being. Like, she's sitting there eating, just looking at her phone. Her son was like the kind of stereotypical, kind of cutesy kid who's like, Mom, remember when I didn't like ketchup? Like, that was one of the things he literally said to her, and she just didn't respond. She was just looking at her phone. And then she picks up a fry, bites it. She goes, this is cold. And this girl goes back to the counter and asks for more fries. Now, I don't care if your fries are frozen. I'm of the mentality that unless you were not given any food, I just don't complain.
Yeah, no.
I don't go back and ask for something different or complain about what I got. Like the other day, I went to Taco Bell, went through the drive-thru, and I ordered a meal. And you know how most meals come with like a soft taco or hard taco? You get to pick.
Sure.
I thought you went to Taco Bell.
Not recently.
But most Taco Bell meals come with a softer hard taco and just on the side is extra. As a little incentive to get the meal package. And instead of getting a soft taco, they gave me a bean burrito, which is more food, but I don't like refried beans. So I couldn't eat it. Did I complain? Did I go back? No, I didn't even really care, to be honest. I just gave it to my sister. I don't care at all.
Yep.
So it didn't bother me in the slightest. And I got a completely different thing. This girl got cold fries, which by the way, I got fries as well with my meal. Weren't cold at all. So I don't know what batch you got.
I think there's this stigmatism where some fries are kind of soggier a little bit, and if you leave them out for a minute, they're kind of cooler. like not like piping hot anymore.
Regardless, I hated this lady.
Yeah.
She goes back and asks for more fries, gets more fries. Again, in my opinion, unless you were given like something you're allergic to, you weren't given your food at all, or your food is a chunk of ice still yet to be thawed.
Go ask for more.
Like, that's so... And I guess it's the manner you go about it. I should clarify, like, if you're nice about it, and you're like, hey, like, my meal's really cold, you're not a bad person, okay? I'm being over...
Like, I have a little bitch gag reflex that makes it so that I don't want to attempt to eat certain things on sandwiches. So if I get a thing on the sandwich that I don't want, or, like, can't eat, I'm like, hey, I'm so sorry, but can I...
Why don't you just pull it off? Because I know what you're talking about.
It's usually if it's like mayonnaise.
You're being so vague this podcast.
It's usually if it's like mayonnaise.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fact that you don't like most like fruits and vegetables.
No. So that I can just pull off.
Okay, well, yeah, well, you should say mayonnaise.
I should have said mayonnaise.
You should have said the word mayonnaise. And honestly, we'd be at a much happier state in our friendship. But anyways, like it's the manner you go about it. I know if you like are allergic to something, or you really like wanted a specific thing and you're very nice about it, I don't think you're a bad person. But if you think your fries are cold, and I can guarantee you they weren't, I got fried, like I was after her in line.
Oh yeah.
And my fries were fine. All right, they don't make individual fries at McDonald's, honey. They make them in big batches. Yeah. So like, she was the worst. I hate her. And for the sake of her son, I hope he gets a better mom, because literally I felt so bad for this kid. I don't remember a lot of what he was saying, but I remember one of the word for word examples, because again, this happened back in February. Like, this is one of those podcast topics that we just keep pushing off because we never get to every podcast topic we have written down.
And it's one that can be pushed off because Karens are timeless.
Of course. But one of the word for word things I remember him saying, and she just ignored everything he said. Like, she was just on her phone the entire time. And I purposely kind of just ate my meal slow. That way I was there the entire time they were there. Like, they left before I left because I wanted to, like, get as much dirt on this lady as possible.
Just as many reasons to dislike her as you can.
But her son was, like, being so cute and sweet and talking to his mom and, like, trying to be a kind child. Yeah. And she was just ignoring him. And I remember, like, when he said word for word, like, one of those little cute kid phrases, like, remember when I hated ketchup? And, like he's an 8-year-old, all right? Yeah. Like, you have not lived most of your life. Like, it's not a remember anything when you're 8. You are 8.
Oh, you mean last week?
Yeah. But it's like, remember when I hated ketchup? And it was so cute. And this mom of her own kid.
Yeah. Just ignores
him. It pissed me off.
That's whack.
It pissed me off. I've never been so upset at a McDonald's, other than maybe the time I had a crackhead dancing and singing a couple tables down from me, but we'll save that for another podcast.
But I don't want to now.
Too bad. Your topic's next.
Oh, fuck. Alright, so I keep getting this pop-up ad on my phone and shit. For like, by 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a little bit of an outrageous claim. Because I'm sure there's a lot of plastic in the ocean. I'm sure there's a lot of plastic on the ground if I go outside right now. Mm-hmm. But I don't fucking, like, are we measuring pound of fish per pound of plastic? Or is it like 1 straw equals 1 fish? Because that's not more, per se.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess, because that does seem kind of bogus. But then when I think about, like, individual pieces of plastic, like things as small as, like, a twisty tie, then maybe that figure is more believable. Or, like, if we're counting individual twisty ties or straws
against fish, but that's like 500 twisty ties in a lake. Like, if you put like 500 twisty ties in a lake that has 500 fish, that's not a lot comparatively.
No, you'll kill maybe 1 or 2 fish.
Yeah.
Like, and those fish, honestly,
they don't deserve to live if they're dying to twisty ties.
But that's a little harsh, for
sure. This is just the new natural selection, baby. No, I'm kidding. I'm fully kidding. Nature is important.
But yeah, I agree with you. I feel like that metric's a little misguided, or at least deceptive.
I'm not calling bullshit. I just want you to say what units of measurement we're using.
Yeah.
Because if we're using, like, ounce of plastic to single fish, of course it's going to be more.
I feel like you get like the weirdest notifications.
Oh
or,
yeah,
like
I get weird
ads.
fucking ads.
But I get those same cringy mobile game ads. That's all I get. That's all I ever get.
Those have been more recent. This is another old topic, but
True.
But like it actually came up again recently, and I'm like, oh my god, shut the fuck up and give me numbers.
Anyways,
Like,
that's
it's just irritating because it's not like it's an outrageous claim at base until you realize they're not giving you numbers to back anything up.
yeah. There's no
They're
like,
just saying it.
evidence or stats. Anyways, while all the fish in the ocean are dying, we're gonna take a break, and we'll be back in just a little bit. And we're back.
Welcome.
Speaking of trash,
It's me.
and particularly trash people like that Karen at McDonald's, I want to tell you a story about the most trash kid I have ever met, and I've only met them once. So my late great dog Samson, who sadly passed away in January this year, he was a great boy, 13 years old. He was a Weimaraner mix, which meant he was a big dog. For him to make it 13 years was gorgeous. Like, it made me very happy. I was very proud of him, and like it helped me prepare for him passing away because I kind of saw it coming at that point. But he was one of the sweetest dogs I've ever owned, and my parents have owned I think 6 dogs now, 7 dogs now, and he's hands down the sweetest one. I loved him to death, and he was nice to everyone and anyone he ever met.
Yeah.
The only time he would ever growl at people is if they touched his paws, which I would always tell people not to do when they came over.
Yeah.
And some people would still do it, but he would only growl. He wouldn't bite anyone ever. And that was, again, like if people just were touching the bottom of his paws. Otherwise, he was the sweetest boy. He was so kind. You met him a couple times. He's great.
I loved him.
Great dog.
He was so good.
And he was never mean to anyone. Then flash forward to the last year of his life. Maybe, yeah, give or take. It was about a year ago this happened. And I haven't told the story to many people at all. Mostly because I had forgotten. But it reminded me so much so that it just filled me with anger again. Especially now that he's gone. Because he did not deserve to have his perfect record tarnished. But let me get into the story before I make him out to seem worse than he was.
Yep.
My mom hosted a graduation party for one of my sisters graduating high school. And she invited lots of people. And she invited one of my sister's friends, whose mother, the mother of my sister's friend, had remarried. And I don't really have any animosity towards her, towards my sister's friend. I don't really have any animosity towards anyone that showed up to that party. However, there is one exception, maybe 2. She remarried and brought her new husband, who no one had ever met in my family.
Great.
Like,
It's already starting out strong.
it's my sister's graduation. My sister wanted her friend to be there, and somehow her friend's mother's new husband is there as well. Kind of out of place. And
Only slightly.
listen, I'm trying to be nice, because the dad, at least, could be a good person. But visually, we're talking trailer park trash. Visually,
Like Travis from GTA 5.
like
That.
bigger,
Ooh.
heftier,
Ooh.
blonder hair, and less teeth.
Oh no.
But he actually seems somewhat nice. However, we're just getting deeper and deeper into the layers of unnecessary. He brought his kid, who none of us had also met. So now, not only had my sister invited her friend, that's okay. If you want to invite a friend to your graduation party, of course, hands down. That friend's mother comes along. Okay, we've met their mother before. Maybe that's okay. A little weird, given it's like a high school graduation party.
Yeah.
Parents, kind of just kill the vibe, but still acceptable.
Yeah.
She brings her new husband we'd never met. Oops.
Oops.
No, thank you. And then he brings his trailer trash kid, who we also had never met, to a party. Now, this is a kid's party. And if you bring a kid who no one else at this kid's party has met, what are you doing? What are you doing?
They're just going to get ignored or at worst, like, bullied a little.
All 22 out of 23 kids at this party know each other. And then there's just one kid here who doesn't know anyone. Oops. So, this trailer trash kid decides now is the time. This is the moment to antagonize my 13-year-old dog. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is where...
This is the greatest storytelling known to man.
I start to see red, Zach. I'm no longer an adult human. I am a Great Northern Plains bison. And he doesn't stop. My mom tells him to stop. He keeps antagonizing my dog. He's like just messing with him, trying to like almost run up on him. I remember at one point he ran at him full speed and just stopped right before he would have ran into my dog just to mess with him. Like, this kid was the devil.
Did he do it to any of the other dogs in your family's house?
No. He was just messing with the 13-year-old one.
Of course.
Which, by the way, if he's not already killing rabbits, regardless, he's going to be a serial killer. So, like, why is he not in jail already? But my dog did something I've never seen him do before. In 13 years of his life, he did this once and once only. He snapped at the kid. Did not bite him, but snapped at him. And, oh my God, bro. Not only was I proud for my dog, but it only made the situation worse because then the mother and the father freak out, think my dog's an evil, cursed being.
Cursed.
And they're getting like so defensive. Their kid like, oh, back up, don't get near him. Like they're being that obnoxious, over the top parent.
My kid is precious, and I have to protect him from this evil dog that he's antagonizing.
I got pissed.
No, yeah, that's.
And your boy was not gonna take that. I was not gonna take slander on my dog's name. A dog who had never snapped at anyone, had only at worst growled at people who purposefully touched the bottom of his paws when I told them not to.
Yeah.
And yet, now he's being made out as some kind of evil creature. I'm so pissed to the point where my dog was like just kind of in the backyard with everyone else in the party.
Yeah.
I went up, grabbed him, and because my mom is close with this lady, I held myself back a little, which is rare for me now in college. I've told many stories where I don't hold myself back, where
you simply don't give a fuck anymore.
In last episode, I told a story about how I think it was last Patreon episode, but I told a story about how I basically told off a professor in a classroom because he was being rude to me and making me out to be an idiot in front of the class.
Yeah.
I held myself back because my mom is friends with this lady. But I still let a little bit of hatred come through. A little bit of fuck you to come through. And as I was taking my dog inside, so I could just bring him into my room with me. I didn't really need to be at that party anyways. I'm 4 years older than all the rest of the people there. I basically said, Samson, let's go inside. Let's get you away from that kid. And I said it right in front of both of them. Because I don't give a fuck what either of you think about me or my dog. But I'm going to tell you right now, your trailer trash kid is fucking Satan. And I hope to God he doesn't grow up to either do cocaine or theft or murder. But I'm guaranteeing you right now, 2 out of 3 is going to happen. All right? Like, it pissed me off so much. I'm getting, mad again. As mad as I was last time, at the party, when it happened.
Yeah.
Pretty much the last time I thought about it. But I thought about it recently and threw it up on the topics list because I will not take slander in my dog's name. This lady was also the same person. I really hope she doesn't watch this because she is friends with my mom and my mom watches these. So there's a chance my mom has told her about it. But I don't care. I'm going balls to the wall. This lady was also the same person that got me in trouble one time because she knocked over our PlayStation and I got mad, which maybe I shouldn't have got mad, but I was young. I was really young. This is way old story.
Yeah, it would have been a PS2, right?
Yeah, it was a PS2. This is like when I was maybe 11 or 12. And I got mad, and my parents obviously had to discipline me because, like, a 12-year-old should not get mad at an adult. That's fair. But, like, this is the same lady who almost broke part of our PlayStation, and I got in trouble. And then not only did I get in trouble, but she also kind of scolded me, which, like, completely reasonable for my parents to scold me. They're my parents. You're not my fucking parent, dog. And even as a 12-year-old, I was able to understand that and recognize that that's idiotic.
Oh, yeah. Even as a kid, I was super, like, apprehensive toward anyone other than my parents being like, oh, you're a bad kid or whatever.
You're just the mother of my sister's friend. Like, don't tell me what to do. Because, like, sure, you can tell me not to yell at you, but don't apprehend a child that isn't yours, is my mentality.
No.
But basically, yeah. I put this topic up on the list just so I can publicly defend my dog's honor, because I had never done so publicly. The only thing I'd ever really done to defend his honor was say in front of them, let's get you away from that kid, Samson, as I brought him inside.
Yeah.
But Samson was the best fucking dog I've ever not only owned, but probably top 2 I've ever met. I've only ever met one dog that was, like, as nice as him. And, like, I've met a lot of dogs, all right?
Yeah.
I've met a lot of dogs. I love dogs, all right? And Samson was top 2 I've ever met and the best dog I've ever owned across the 7 dogs my parents have owned and now 1 dog. Well, I guess 2 dogs, because I owned Samson, even though he lived in my parents' house. Like, he was my dog. Everyone knew it. You knew it. I knew it. Everybody knew it. So, I owned Samson. And he was, I hate to say it, I love Bowser, our dog that we have at this apartment, but Samson was better.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, sometimes, I said this at the beginning of the podcast, sometimes I want to, like, cuddle with Bowser or pet him or, like, love him, and he just wants nothing to do with it. Samson was always down for love and, like, pets and care. And it maybe made me unreasonably angry, but it made me very, very pissed off when he snapped at that kid who was antagonizing him, and this lady tried to make my dog out to be this, like, horrible creature that needs to be feared. Yeah. No. Never. Oh, no. Fuck off. Next topic. I'm pissed off. I'm mad now. Why did I bring this up? It only made me mad. Oh, okay. I'm the next topic. Yep. Fuck. Mark Ruffalo's a fucking idiot. Actually, this is fair. This is completely fair. Fuck Mark Ruffalo.
What did he do?
I fucking hate Mark Ruffalo.
What happened?
Right. It's good I got mad for this topic. This is the perfect transition.
Now you can channel it.
The perfect transition. Mark Ruffalo's a fucking idiot.
What did he do?
He posted on Twitter recently, basically a political agenda, I guess, of trying to convince people to go vegetarian because of the coronavirus, which is a topic we brought up before on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, because there's a rumor that some fool ate a bat, and that's already been, like, proven to not be the cause.
And people are now trying to spread the incorrect information. Yeah. That meat spreads the coronavirus, and are doing it for either religious or, like, vegetarian activism reasons, which is fucked up.
Listen, every time that you follow instructions to cook meat, it always says to make sure it's heated above temperature X, because that's the temperature that, like, kills bacteria, viruses, and other shit.
Well, not even that. Most animals can't carry the coronavirus anyways.
No, yeah.
Regardless.
But, like, in spite of that, like, you have to cook chicken to, like, what, 160 at least?
That doesn't matter. Mark Ruffalo's an idiot. Yeah. Like, it pisses me off. And I can't believe him, a celebrity with a big following, a big influence of other people.
And an Avenger celebrity.
Like, it's already irresponsible for just random people on Twitter to push the agenda of vegetarianism for either personal, political, or, like, religious reasons. It was mostly religious that I saw. A lot of people were pushing vegetarianism because that's what their religion says. And they were saying, oh, well, if, you know, we said about before, like, oh, Allah doesn't support eating meat and Jesus doesn't support eating meat. And you'll get the coronavirus if you do. So listen to Allah or listen to Jesus. What? First off, dumb. Secondly, listen, I love Jesus. I know a lot about what Jesus said, and I'm guaranteeing you right now, there is not a word in the Bible where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, don't eat meat. Love your brother.
But don't eat meat.
But don't eat meat.
Stay the fuck away from me.
Now, I don't know anything about, like, the Muslim religion and whether or not eating meat's fine in that religion. So I can't say that. But, like, I still believe, like, if you're saying, oh, you should, like, I should make the clarification now before my words get twisted.
Yeah.
If you're telling people to go vegetarian because you want them to, be a good Muslim, that's fair. Like, if you're telling Muslims not to eat meat, and that's correct, like, under your doctrine of Islam, sure. But where I have an issue is when you're using either Islam or Christianity in a way that falsely promotes coronavirus information. Like you're using the coronavirus as a way to push your religion, and it's also incorrect. Like, that pisses me off. Like, don't use Jesus and the coronavirus as a way to convince people to, like, come to Jesus, especially if that information is wrong. So then you get people like Mark Ruffalo, who's a celebrity, using his influence to get people to not eat meat anymore because of the coronavirus, which, again, wrong. That's no correlation at all. Like, I genuinely like thinking that Mark Ruffalo is more worried about a hamburger than someone sneezing in his face. That is hilarious to me. To have that much money as a Hollywood actor and be that fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But anyways, it pissed me off. At the same time, though, I don't know what I expected from Mark Ruffalo. Like, he's a known idiot. This guy streamed the entire freaking, was it the Thor movie or whatever, on Instagram live because...
For real?
Yeah, it was an accident, but he's so dumb.
How do you accidentally stream an entire movie?
He's so dumb. He streamed an entire unreleased Marvel movie on Instagram live for thousands of people.
Duh.
So I'm not surprised that this guy's an idiot and trying to push the agenda that people should stop eating meat so they don't get the coronavirus. Fun fact, I've eaten meat almost every day since the coronavirus came out, and I'm as healthy as can be.
The way I pictured it when you said since the coronavirus came out is it's like an album or game release. Like, it's just like midnight drop of the coronavirus.
It just pisses me off. Like, I want to reinforce the idea that we talked about on a previous episode, that eating meat will not give you the coronavirus unless someone who has the coronavirus handled it and did not cook it properly.
Yeah.
Like, come on now. Just stay quarantined, keep up with social distancing, and if you want to make a hamburger, you'll be fine. Just don't listen to Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm going to try to calm my hatred as we do the outro. But we want to thank you all for watching. Apologies, it got a little heated. All right, but I'm just giving you my real self. I'm not going to hold anything back from our audience. I don't want them to get a fake version of me. They're going to get the real deal, which is, I hate that kid, I hate that lady at McDonald's, and I hate Mark Ruffalo. Regardless, thank you for watching. Do you have any final words, Zach?
No, I'm good. I don't...
I feel like you're a little scared of me right now. That's fair.
I mean, it was funny when you were talking about the kid and Bowser and the lady. This Mark Ruffalo thing is just like, ooh.
I know you like Marvel.
Listen, I care much less about Marvel now that I've seen all of it. Like, now that it's essentially over.
All I'm saying is, I don't care if you're an actor in Hollywood. That doesn't put you above idiocy.
No.
And if you're going to promote to your thousands of followers false information about the coronavirus, I'm going to call you an idiot. And I honestly think he's a bad person for spreading misinformation about the coronavirus to that many people, to that big of an audience. Regardless, thank you all for watching. We really appreciate it. I hope you all have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you are in the world. And, I just want to say we are finally on a lot more platforms. At the end of last episode, we announced that we're on Spotify and Anchor. We are now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, Breaker. There's a couple. If you want to find all the places we are on, they will be linked in the description. You can either see some of the specific links, like the Spotify link in the description, or if you want to, find us on Breaker, go to our hub link, which is basically a hub for all of our platforms. If you click that link, you will see all the platforms we're on.
Yeah.
Because we're on like 7 platforms now, and it's kind of obnoxious to link all 7 of them
Yeah.
in the description. So instead, we have one link that sends you to a website where you can find all of them.
Yeah.
It's simpler, sweeter, and
just better.
we would appreciate it if you checked out some of those platforms. If you appreciate those more, if you like listening to audio more, if you are listening on audio right now, thank you. And if you want the video version, that'll be up on YouTube where you can see our beautiful faces. Regardless, I'm going to go try to relax. Maybe I do need that coffee, Zach.
And be sure to hit up the Patreon for bonus episodes and this week the cringy music video.
That is true. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week. Peace.
Have a nice night.